So on that point, Fernando, how did you guys scale? Like, once you knew this business was going to be successful, kind of once you guys started growing, like, did you take on VAs? Do you have in-house people? Do you have your own warehouse? Kind of like what did it look like when you guys started to scale?
Yeah. So what happened was, so we launched those first products. Most of them failed actually all of them failed within probably like 4 or 5 months. But we knew that there was a lot of promise. So we kept launching. We were trying to launch about one new product per month. I think the fifth one did like pretty well. Like sixth one was like maybe okay. But then like somewhere like about like 5 months in, we hit like our first like home run. And it was like crazy. So, I mean, I think the first day I sold like 20 units. The next day was like 70 units. The next day was like 100 units. And that was like a really high ROI product. So again, like that's why we're really focused on that metric. But it sold a ton. And that kind of helped us like grow the company a ton, because it's just like for every dollar that we put in, we were making about like $5 back, which is, I mean, again, like, that's like a really like ideal, and it was a long time ago. So I wouldn't necessarily use that as like your benchmark. So we ended up having to borrow money because we couldn't keep like the inventory inside. Even though we were making so much money, we were also like expanding like really quick. We were going really aggressive. So we like expanded that product line. We went to UK, Canada, or all the EU, including the UK and Canada. Like, I mean, I would say like month 7 or 8. So we like went really, I guess, like balls to the wall. And then we hired our first like virtual assistant like around that same time. So maybe about like 6 months in, to kind of handle a lot of like the support and administrative stuff. And then, yeah, I mean, like fast forward, like we've been hiring like pretty aggressively, I would say. So I think, well, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. So we realized that like for us, the biggest growth driver was new products. And so we ended up kind of hiring 2 people, I would say about a year in. And then one was in charge of like all of our like kind of supply chain. So like sourcing, inventory planning, and logistics. And then another person was in charge of hiring or of finding new products. And so we kind of split those 2 roles, which I was kind of overseeing. And then so they reported directly to me. And then Nick, my business partner, focused on a lot of like the launches, like the management, like support of our products. And then yeah, so we like really scaled from there. So like today we have about 75 employees. I would say like 90% are like overseas, so it keeps our operating expenses pretty low. And then yeah, we have like an amazing team now that let's kind of set up with the infrastructure to basically help us scale to about 100 million a year.
Cool. Do you have somebody, like you said, most of your people are overseas. Do you have somebody locally that you kind of put in charge of all those people, like a project manager, or, or are you managing all those people?
Great question. So one of the things, so we have a business coach as well. So one of the things that our business coach recommends is that each one of us does not have more than 5 direct reports. So we're kind of focusing around that. So originally how we had it structured was that our people in LA were basically the managers, and then we basically augmented all of their abilities by hiring a lot overseas. But as we've gotten better at recruiting and building teams and scaling, now we actually have like managers and VPs that are actually based overseas as well, and they build and recruit their own teams. Wow. Just like they would if they were here.
Yeah,
and then so we have like maybe a management team of like 9 or 10. And then they've like, recruited and brought in their own teams a lot of the time.
Fantastic. Where are you finding, like, what do you use, like Upwork? Like, where are you finding these people?
Yeah, so we typically don't do Upwork. And I think, in the beginning, I think it's a great place because you're not committed to hiring them full time. And it's more of a freelancer market. But it is hard, I think, to get people from the freelance mentality, I've realized, to becoming full-time employees.
Yeah.
So I would say, in the beginning, I would really recommend onlinejobs.ph. I think it's got like an amazing amount of candidates, and that's where we did a lot of our initial hiring. I think it's good for like kind of that administrative work, and you just get a ton of candidates.
Yep.
Now we hire more specialized work, I would say. So we hire like, specific people towards inventory planning, or specific people towards like managing our Amazon listings. And like, we need like people that can hit the ground running, so they already have experience. So a lot of time we'll look at like LinkedIn or get referrals from like our existing employees. Okay. So like, I think that's probably where we get the most.
Are you doing like LinkedIn job postings, or just posting like on your feed?
Everything. Like, so like job postings, like ads. We do like outreach. So for like, we're looking at inventory planners, like, we'll reach out to people that do like inventory planning at another company.
Right.
And then that, because I think like the biggest thing is, like when you're hiring somebody, you want someone that's gonna be better than you. You know what I mean? And it's easy for us to say because we're like a larger company. But like if you're hiring someone, let's say for inventory planner, like I can give them my Excel, and I'm okay at Excel, but I'm not like necessarily the best. But like the guy that we brought in to lead inventory planning, like he makes spreadsheets look like beautiful. Like they're like, like literally like my eyes tear up a little bit because they're so nice. And I just like, I know how good he's at it. And like, so I don't feel like any pressure in terms of like overseeing inventory planning, because I know he's so good at it. And that gives me like the freedom to focus on other like more important things. And I think that's what you should be really focused on when you're hiring somebody, is like, these guys are way better than me at it. And so I don't like need to like micromanage. I don't need to like worry, because I know they're going to do such a good job.
Yeah. Awesome. There's a lot of great tips there. Cause, for me, not only am I trying to scale my Amazon business, but I'm trying to scale my software business and things like that. Online Jobs PH is a great suggestion. That's where we get a lot of our staff from. And then LinkedIn is also kind of where we've actually just kind of started dipping our toes in. So that's it's good to get some verification that works. So that's cool.